Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to talk about water purification and water filtration in the outdoors. We're going to start with purification, make our way towards filtration, and then kind of end with some stuff about bladders and bottles to put all this good stuff in. We're going to start off by calibrating this here scale. I have a nickel with me, and it should weigh 5 grams. And we have 5 grams for our nickel, so we're good to go there. I'm going to change this over to ounces over here, and we shall begin. First on the list is going to be a UV pen. This one here in particular is a SteriPen Ultra. Very simple to use. Take off the protective cap, push the button once to turn it on. You can cycle between either a liter or a half a liter with this model with a couple button pushes. Put it in whatever you're using for a bladder or bottle. Give it a stir. This particular model gives you a little smiley face if it's done correctly, and it gives you a little frowny face if it's done incorrectly. So very user friendly. It's not like super lightweight or anything. It's 4.7 ounces. But for ease of use, I bring this thing on day hikes. I bring it on really short backpacking trips, when it's warm out. I just love the ease of use with it. Some considerations with it, you will have to use either a wide mouth bottle like a Gatorade, Powerade, vitamin water, whatever, or an Algin bottle to actually get the unit inside and properly stir it. Other considerations, your water is going to have to be, free of a lot of sediment. The sediment can block the UV rays. Bacteria actually really likes to hang on to dirt and grime, so you want your water to be pretty clear when you're using this. One big consideration, in my opinion, is definitely going to be winter use. Now, it does run off of an electrical charge, so if you don't sleep with this at night and leave it out, you could wake up and your whole battery could be drained. If you forget to sleep with your power bank, now might be drained after like maybe a day or two of doing those mistakes. So you definitely kind of want to bring a backup if you're using it in the winter, in my opinion. But all in all, great tool for purifying water. Easy to use, semi-lightweight, and it's kind of fun to use too. I'm not gonna lie, I have fun with it. Next for purification, we have, this is my personal favorite, AquaMera. This stuff's pretty simple. You take the cap off, you mix in however many drops you need of each, and you're going to wait about 5 minutes. It's going to give you a little kind of orange color. You're going to pour that into your bladder with your water, or your bottle with your water, and you're going to wait. The instructions say to depend, it kind of depends on the temperature of the water, but I always give it a half hour. So you do have like a 35-minute prep time with this stuff, but it purifies the water. It does an amazing job, and I really feel secure with it. I bring it as a backup in tiny little bottles on some of my trips, just to have a backup water purification method. And other than that, your water can be somewhat dirty when you're using it. It doesn't have to be super clear. And there is, it's a chemical. You have to kind of do the research and be like, oh, am I okay putting, this in my body, blah, 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 blah. But I know for a fact they use this at water treatment facilities as well, too. So you could be even drinking it in your tap water and not even know it. The AquaMera for the whole thing, once I get this scale up here again, is going to weigh... This one weighs 2.6 ounces. Now, there's definitely some fluid leaking out of there. I want to say the whole system weighs 3 ounces. I've weighed it a lot in the past, so we'll say around 3 ounces for that system. The next, we're going to jump from purification to filtration. So, big differences there. Purification kills the stuff. Filter just has a membrane filter or a ceramic filter or what have you that just doesn't let the bacteria get through. The filter size is going to be a certain size so that it's going to be smaller than the actual pathogenic bacteria itself. This is the most famous, of course, your Sawyer Squeeze. Sawyer Squeeze is going to come out to 2.5, or no, I'm sorry, I'm upside down, 2.2 ounces for this guy here. Tons of people, take a smart water bottle, time on the end here, and you can squeeze into another bottle you know, from here if you want to. You can drink straight from it. If you drink straight from it, you got to kind of loosen this here and there to keep the bottle from collapsing on itself and really just kind of messing the bottle up really. It has a little plunger to back flush it, so you basically just take the plunger, take clean water, it has to be clean water. You're going to put it in the opposite end, give it a little squeeze, and it'll flow out the other end. And it's good to back flush this filter, I would say, you know, at least once a day. You know, it flows so much easier when you back flush it and keep it clean. Considerations with this is you can use a Smart Water sports cap, as you know, a lot of people know, to actually back flush this. So you can take the sports cap, throw it on your Smart Water bottle, you know, hook this end into that end, give it a squeeze, it'll back flush it for you. And this thing right here weighs a total of 0.1 ounces, while your plunger weighs 1.1 ounces. So this is definitely going to be the option that I choose when I'm carrying the Sawyer Squeeze. Considerations with the Sawyer Squeeze, of course, winter again, it's a membrane. If you don't sleep with it, it'll freeze, and once it freezes, it's done. It's broken, it will not work properly anymore, and it's best just to throw it out and get a new one. You can get them pretty cheap on Amazon if you choose the faucet adapter. Shout out to Tim Watson for teaching me that one, because these things are like 50 bucks, 40 bucks at REI, I think. And they come with their little bladders and all this little kits and stuff. It's not needed. Just get the Amazon one, and then you can get a bladder afterwards, or use a Smart Water bladder, and you'll save yourself some money. Next, for the filtration, we are going to have the Katadyn Be Free. I just got this in the winter, so I have not used it yet. I've done some research on it. I've heard some good, a lot of good actually, and I've heard a little bit of bad here, you know, so that's natural. But what I like about it is it's a super simple system. You have your bladder and your filter all in one, and this thing cleans super easy. You just shake it in the water, and it supposedly cleans it pretty well. I've heard some stories on it, you know, not having the best flow rate, but when you consider the simplicity of the system, and you consider really the weight of it, then, which we're going to get right now, then I think it's a very attractive option. I'm definitely going to use it this summer and kind of see how it works for me. 2.2 ounces for the weight for the whole system. So here you have a system, 2.2 ounces for everything. That's what I really like about it, and it's super simple. You can keep it in the side pocket in your backpack, take it out, scoop it, screw it on, drink right out of it, put it in a bottle, whatever. I really can't wait to test that out this summer. Next, for filters, we have Life Straw. Now, Life Straw, I've brought it backpacking with me on my Colorado trail trip, 1.9 ounces for this guy. And I just took water in a Gatorade bottle and drank straight from the Gatorade bottle with a Life Straw. Actually met a guy in the Weminuche Wilderness here in Colorado that was doing that, and I stole the idea from him. So I don't know his name, but shout out to you, my man. Good idea. Life Straw hollow membrane filter, so the same discrepancies as the Sawyer. If you sleep with it in the cold, you have to sleep, you know, with it in your bag, or it will freeze. And once it's frozen, it's done. But cleaning it is super simple. You basically just blow water out the other end, or even air, I think. But the instructions are right on it. Super simple. You know, lightweight, but it does have its limitations, like, you know, it's not screwing onto anything. You're not having, like, you know, one modular system. You pretty much have to have a wide mouth bottle to drink out of to use this. Now, I do like bringing this on day hikes, or just something as like a backup fun of filtration deal, or if I just want to use it and have fun with it, I'll bring it. But I really don't use it that much, to be totally honest. And now we'll talk about you know, bladders and such to use all this with. We already talked about the Smart Water bottle and the Sawyer, of course. That's just, you know, something classic. These CNOC bags, I love them. The Sawyer bags, I've broken so many of them. I have an Evernew bag that's pretty light, and that's cool too. But this one here, you know, for its weight, and it's just how rugged it is and how easy it is to use. This is the second version, by the way. The second version has a little attachment for the cap to stay on, and it also has an attachment for this little slide guy to stay on as well, which is so much better than the first version, because the first version you're always like, oh, where am I going to put my cap so I don't lose it? Where am I going to put my little slidey thing so I don't lose it? Blah, blah, blah. And this guy weighs in at a total of... It's not going to stay shut for me. 2.8 ounces for the C-Knock or knock. I don't know how to say it. I'm just going to call it a C-Knock. 2.8 ounces for this bladder. And it makes using the Sawyer Squeeze a pleasure. This is super stretchy, very durable. And you can take your Sawyer, you can screw it to the end of this guy. You can use this little guy right there, put a little tube on it, you know, hang this off of a whatever, something to hang off of, and then you have yourself a gravity system. Now, of course, a lot of people use like 2 C-Knock bladders, and they'll put another one down here, and it's just one huge modular system. I think that's awesome. I kind of would do this personally just to save weight, maybe even cut this hose down some. And you know, it might be a little finicky, of course. The dual bladder system is definitely more effective and easier to use, but I think this way is a little bit lighter. Other than that, I don't have any ceramic filters with me right now. I'll tell you what, right now I don't like them. I don't like using them. They take a good amount of work to pump water through. If you drop them, the ceramic block can crack. If you're in winter time, it can freeze and crack. They're heavy. They had their place and time in the backpacking world, and I believe that their time is over. I just don't believe in carrying them. They're too heavy, and they have too many problems with them. You got to clean them. I mean, I won't even go into it. I just don't like them. But this is what I do like. This is what I do use. If you have questions about anything, if you want to talk about any of this stuff, if you have any advice for me on these videos, please leave it in the comments and let's talk some gear. Other than that, thanks again for watching. Have a good night.